beer review. We are here. Bam. Shag Dog. No jammer. And I'm ready to drink some beer. No jammer, but he had some business to take care of. I almost didn't make it today because I had some car issues. I had to take my car to the shop, but done quicker than I expected. They tell me it was going to be an all-day thing. So let's do it. I'm drinking Volcano sauce. Sour from Aslin Brewing Company. It's a fruited kettle sour. Wondering how much floaties I will get. 90 on Beer Advocate. They're out of Virginia. 6% ABV. Collaboration with Fürst Wyatt. Sour fruited with mixed berries, lactose, vanilla, thick and clean raspberry goodness. There you go. Hopefully not too many floaties because I really got, these beers I really got checked. This one isn't too old, but I don't know when it was. It's got empty time, 24/7/09. I don't know what that means, but anyhow. Yeah, it looks like a fruited kettle sour. It's probably got some floaties in there. It's so cloudy, thick. I can't really tell. I'm holding it up to the brightest light I got. I still can't tell if there's any floaties. So smells sour, kind of lactosey, maybe some mixed berries, but almost like if you smell like a mixed berry cream cheese or whipped cream or something. That's what I'm getting, but pretty sour. Sour but creamy and a little lactose. A little sourness, though. I'm not sure if that's lactose. Hopefully it's not real bad. The head is like 3 fingers. I did give it a slight heavy pour. Still got some left in the can. There's a label for you label pervs out there. They have another one called Super Volcano Sauce. I don't know if they changed the name or if there's actually something different. Let's check real quick before I take my first sip. Super Volcano. Yeah, there's another one called Super Volcano. So it's probably like an Imperial fruited kettle. That one's 9.5% ABV. This one's only 6%. So yeah, glad I didn't get that one. And I feel like I did this before, but I'm not going to go back and check. So, all right, yeah. Sour, mixed berry, little lactose, a little, not just sour fruit sour, but almost a lactose sour in there. We'll try it. Cheers. Yeah, that's a sour. Not bad. Yeah, pretty good. For a sour. I was going to take these damn headsets off because I don't know what it is, but yeah, screw it. I think I am going to take them off. It's just bothering me. I don't need the damn headset. I think it's making me talk too loud because it's like, yeah, I'm not a big sour fan, but I do like the can. Got some nice colors there, red, blue, and yellow. The sour, it's definitely sour. You can taste the lactose. I'm not a big sour fan, but it's not real bad for what it is. I just couldn't sit there and drink a bunch of sours. There's no way. And I know kids and young people like sour candy, and there are some women I met that like sour beers. It's like, oh, I love sour beers. Well, do you like IPAs, this, that, and that? No, I only like sours and light beer or whatever, yeah, or White Claws. There's kids that eat sour candy, or young adults. I work with a couple of young adults that act like kids. They're 21, 22. But it's expected. I probably did the same thing or worse when I was their age. So dancing at work and acting like a fool, all that testosterone. But they like sour. And one guy I work with, a young guy, he's 21. He doesn't drink though. But I wonder if he drank something like this, it'd remind him of some candy, because he does eat some sour candy crap. If he say, "Wow, that's better than the sour candy," and start drinking, I introduce him to it, and he ends up becoming an alcoholic on sour beers, and it's my fault. Possibility. Let's get back to the beer though. I mean, I'll drink a sour, but it's definitely not in my top 5 beer styles. So might not even make the top 10. But are they really bad? No. Then there's different types of sour beers. You got the fruited kettle sour. We got like a wild sour or something like that. Wild ale, which is like a sour beer. Different types of sour styles. Make my tummy feel like a volcano. Oh boy. Let's try to get the rest of this beer in there. See if we can. Oh shit! I'm spilling it. You're getting that sediment in there. Sometimes with a sour beer, you'll have some sediment in there. It looks like there might be a little. I can't tell. Yeah, a little bit. Let's try to get this beer down. I didn't even get it all in there, did I? There we go. Let's get it down, folks. I probably should get this out of the way. All right, hopefully that's not messing with my volume or anything. Let's chug a lug and then give my grade. I'm noticing with these, I've been getting a lot of Aslin Brewing Company. They're out of Virginia, but I've been finding a lot of them here in Georgia, across the river over in Georgia. And they're not the greatest beer, but there is a distinct taste to them. I think I'm starting to find. I'm not sure if it's the yeast they're using or a certain hop or what it is, but they have a distinct taste, whether it's one of their stout beers, the IPAs I've had by them. I actually have like 2 or 3 more beers by these guys to do out of 5 beers I have left. So I'll probably do some beer shopping this week, but I'm going to try to drink all these old beers first. Hopefully I can buy some fresher beers. But what am I going to give this? I'll give it, for what it is, a sour, fruited kettle sour, a B- and a swallow. There you go. For the volcano sauce. And as always, we always finish our beers most of the time before we turn the video off. So I'm going to drink this. You can stay along with me. I'll probably banter with myself, maybe tell some jokes. I did come up with a funny skit last night. Somehow I had the New Kids on the Block song in my head, step by step. The part of the song, step 1, we could have lots of fun. Step 2 is just me and you. And I was like, it ends at number 5. I was like, man, they should have went to number 10. And what could the song have been about, Who knows? I did have AI say, hey, give me the other 5 steps for that song. And the AI was coming out with a bunch of stupid stuff. So I was like, man, step 1, we can have lots of fun. Step 2 is just me and you. Step 3, I forget what it was. The timing's right. Step 4, something. And then step 5, don't you know the time is right? Something like that. So you could add that, like it's a date song almost. Step 6, you know you're gonna lick. Step 7, And then we'll go to heaven. Step 8. This is the very best date. Step 9. Girl, you're so fine. Step 10. Now the date is over. Get in the bed. Ugh. I don't know. Horrible. I think it'd be a good skit for Saturday Night Live to have something like that. Actually, I had other words for some of those steps, and it's going to be like a roofie type date. All the new kids in the block guys are dancing, singing. Somebody's putting a roofie in a girl's drink. All the different steps after 5 leads into the roofie date. But at number 10, the cops show up, saves the girl. Step 10, you're going to jail, my friend. Something like that. I don't know. I don't condone those type of dates. There was somebody I worked with. We had to get drug tests for work all the time. And he was a bartender. And it came up, they had this type of drug testing thing, which is really weird. Because I used to work in law enforcement area. And when we went to work one day, I forget what they call that. Drug interdiction team. Basically, other officers from other institutions or whatever showed up. They told you where to park. They made sure you weren't trying to hide. They didn't check our cars. Well, they did have dogs go around our cars, but they didn't check your car unless the dog sniffed, got a thing on it. But anyhow, we went through this big line, and they had these big swab things. You swiped your hand on your hand. I guess it tested if you had any residue of drugs on your hands. Some weird. I've never seen it before. I haven't seen it since. That's the only time they did that. But one guy I worked with, on his hands came up roofie, whatever hell the scientific name, regular name for a roofie drug is. And so he had to, go through a whole investigation, everything. He was a bartender at his parents' bar that the parents owned, I guess. So he did that part-time. So they're thinking he was just somebody apparently got roofied at that bar, and him touching glasses or cleaning glasses. Who knows? I mean, he never got fired or anything, and he was there for like another year or two. Then he transferred to a federal agency. So, but if you're a bartender and you come up positive roofie on your hands, I don't know how long that residue would stay on your hands, even if you wash your hands or something. Let's Googleize it. All right. Let's see. If somebody was washing glasses and the glass had roofies in it, and the residue of that got on their hands, how long would that residue stay on their hands? Would it be for more than a day or even 12 hours later? Duration of residue staying on hands depends on various factors. Type of substance, roofies in this case contain fluntruspam, whatever else it's pronounced, amount of residue, skin type, hand washing frequency, soap and water use. Generally, residues can persist on skin for several hours, but typically decrease significantly after washing hands with soap and water. If the person washed their hands thoroughly with soap and water after handling the glass, it's likely the residue would significantly reduce or undetectable in a few hours. However, without specific testing, it's difficult to provide an exact time frame, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I mean, I guess it's possible. It's just weird that would come up, when he's coming to work. If he worked in the bar, we were working 4 p.m. to midnight. So that was kind of weird. And then we had another guy come up that tested THC on his hands. And this guy I knew smoked the stuff. So they went to his car. The dogs hit on his car. They opened up his car. They didn't find much, but they did find a couple of roaches in the ashtray. And he got fired or whatever. Or he quit while he was under investigation or whatever it was. But I knew that guy smoked because one time we went to a club and at a local bar north of Tampa. And then someone came up with a bright idea. Let's go to the casino. So he's in the front seat, in the passenger seat. Somebody else that's sober is driving. Three of us sitting in the back seat. And I guess that dude lit up a joint or something. Because one of us said, like, I smell marijuana. And he said, no, you don't. And then you look up at him, he's blowing smoke out. Crazy guy. And then that was probably about 3 or 4 weeks later when he got caught with it. So, and usually they don't have those type of things unless they're hearing some stuff, you know. So, now they had those things before, but they just had the dogs sniffing you as it went by. They didn't go through that whole hand swab thing or anything. Like you go through the main entrance, they'd have the dogs out there. They thoroughly check your items, bags, go through the metal detector, that kind of stuff. They didn't do the hand swab thing. That was kind of weird. I've never seen that before or since. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do another live one. I think this might be the only beer review I do today. No Jammer. I know it doesn't get excited without Jammer on here because, you know, plus I think I'm getting an ear infection or something. My ear's blocked up. And I'm sure sour beers would help that. I might do one more live one. We'll see. I got IPA. And I do have it's either a porter or a stout in the fridge. Another one by these guys. But maybe I'll do the IPA. I'm going to guess this next beer I'm going to do the IPA. Might not be that great of an IPA. It's from a company called Social Fox. I've only had 1 or 2 beers by them guys. I wasn't impressed. So we'll see. Sour beer. Delicious. Any other stories to tell? Yeah, man, what a week or two financially. I bought a new computer, charged it, of course, but I did pay most of it off already. I still got a little bit more to pay, but okay, so yeah, I charged most of it. I won't say percentage wise. I don't want to give it a dollar amount, but anyhow, it was quite a bit of change, you know. And I paid about 60% of it off right after I charged it. Paid my about 60% of the tab on my credit card bill. So I got about 40% left of it to pay, maybe 35%, somewhere around there. And then my car's been acting up. Had an engine light last time I got the oil change, but they're like, well, you got to do another appointment for a diagnostic. So I'm like, ugh. So anyhow, my battery started going dead like last week and a half ago. I could tell it was going dead. The radio was kicking on late, weird static noise in the speakers. And then finally it went dead one night. And I jumped it. It stayed good all day and all night. But the next day I took it, got it tested. But anyhow, before this, I got my engine light tested at the same place a couple weeks, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And it said certain thing, and I'm like, oh, I better get that in then, get it fixed. I've been delaying it, of course. So then my battery goes dead. Got to buy a new damn battery. And I go test the batteries. I'm like, I better get this damn thing into the shop to get the other problem fixed, which is going to run me anywhere from $400 to $600 probably. But before I did that, the other day at work, my phone stops working. I can't swipe or do anything. And then I took it to a shop, and they're like, yeah, you need a whole new screen, whatever, you know, the part that does the swiping doesn't work anymore. But I just need a whole screen, and it's only going to cost me about $200, he said. And I'm like, okay. He goes, yeah, but it's going to take me about 2 days to get the part in. And I'm like, shit. I use my phone for work, so I'm like, can I not use it for 2 days? I mean, I went all night that night without using it. It was kind of hard, though, but I was like, you know what? I'll just go buy a new phone. So I went and bought a new phone. Luckily, I didn't have to put a down payment or anything on the new phone, but I still had to pay the old phone off, and I still owed about $400 on there, so I had to pay that. Now the new phone, I'm not going to tell you what that costs. I probably paid too much for a phone, but and then I should have tested the phone out a little bit better because it's a mini phone. They don't call them minis anymore, but it's a Galaxy S25. The regular 25 is, which I guess S means small. A regular 25 probably be about that high, so it's a little bit smaller, yeah, shorter. So, anyhow, so there's more money. Then I finally took my car to the shop today. I'm like, oh, and then they tell me right off the bat the diagnostic's going to cost $179 or whatever the fuck it is. I'm like, jeez. I'm hoping whatever is wrong with this covered under the warranty. And it's at my dealer's shop, and it says it's probably going to be all day. I'm like, great. I work graveyard shift. I've been up since 1 o'clock last night, 1 in the morning. You know, at least I slept a few hours later than normal, but I'm like, oh, crap. And I didn't have nobody to pick me up or anything either. So I'm like, oh, I might be here all day. I might have to take an Uber home if it's a big problem. But it only took them about an hour and 45 minutes, hour and a half, somewhere around there. And the problem, didn't have to pay for it. It's covered under warranty to replace the part. Supposedly faulty part or something. We'll see if it happens again. But, yeah, so that saved me a little money, thankfully. But I better drink this beer, huh? 22 minutes. See, Jammer would be telling me to drink this. He'd be talking a little bit, so I could probably drink a little faster. That's probably why I should record videos so I can edit it. I'm not sure why I got the Halloween thing up there still. Forgot to take it off from the last time we did beer reviews. Let's get this up there. How about that? Yeah, so I might need Jammer's help because all this money I'm spending, and the due date is coming up for StreamYard. I might need a little help this year paying for it. I've been paying for it since what? 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. Anywho, yeah, so the next beer is IPA. I might do the brown ale or porter or whatever heck it is instead. I don't know. Probably should do the darker beer. I usually put those down easier. Yeah. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like. Check out our short videos. If you don't like watching long-ass winded videos, check out our short videos. They're a little bit shorter. Some of them are funny. Some of them have really important information, and some of them are just downright wrong. But, man, I watched somebody, oh, God. Well, the guy was a good talker. I try to do this other YouTube channel where I go around small towns, whatever, give a little history. I'm not a good talker, and as I'm getting older, I'm not sure the mental cognitive functions or whatever. If I'm not, I think that's what it is, man. I don't know. Could be too much of this over the years. Who knows, right? But yeah, I like to do that new YouTube channel because I see people doing it. I'm like, they're making money. They're getting thousands of views. And the one guy I watched today, he was a very good talker, but he wasn't a fun. I mean, he spoke very well, but it wasn't very fun. Yeah. Imagine somebody saying, I watched this one guy, Shag Dog. He's very boring. Couldn't pronounce words right. Little nasally. That's right. All right, I'll do it for this one. Wait. Oh, nothing in there, but a little drop in here. Spit or Swallow beer review, Shag Dog. Hey, someone just jumped in. We're about to get this one over with. check us out in the next one. I might do one more live video, then that'll be it for today. Can't go on without Jammer. We'll see you on the next one. Spit or Swallow Beer Review.